Immediately upon arriving in the Nether, I made sure to get up a safe base so I won't have any problems with ghasts or other hostile mobs. The safety must have made me complacent, because I actually thought I could traverse the Nether without actually having any gold armor. Naturally, I was quickly corrected in the error of my ways. It is almost as if that piglin knew I was going to come out. I actually got so scared from that encounter that I immediately returned to the overworld. Having my golden chestplate on me was a great relief. Now I actually dare to return. When I got back, I fought this magma cube that didn't really have a sense of surroundings, so it was a very easy fight. Speaking of sense of surroundings, I saw an enderman and thought I'd try my luck on getting any ender pills. But since he didn't really want to dance, I started focusing on the piglin instead. I really want to get those trades going as soon as possible. It must have been quite a special piglin, because you see, every time I turned my back he actually disappeared. Yeah, I eventually caught up and got him trading, but there was only one trade and then he was gone once more. So naturally I thought I should get a trading pit as soon as possible so he won't be able to get away from me. Because it really was a fast one. Oh yeah, by the way, do you remember what I said about keeping an eye on your surroundings? Well, there's another example for you. After having changed my trousers, I mustered up the courage to actually go and get back my stuff. At least this time there wasn't a piglin with a crossbow waiting for me. Not long after my demise, I actually managed to get a piglin down in a hole so I can start trading with him. Great stonks is on the horizon. I also managed to recover my dignity by fighting off this enderman once and for all. Third time's the charm. Then got a chance to play some baseball with this gas, but it didn't really go so well, so I dug myself a hole. I also might have cried a little bit. The Nether truly is a scary place. Oh well, the expedition to the Nether was a great success either way. I actually got just about all the resources I needed to make the farms I was planning on doing. The farm that you see here is a trusty chicken cooker design that has worked for many years. So naturally I built it thinking I was going to get a ton of free cooked chicken. But of course, you also gotta check that the farm actually still works. I didn't actually do that and I ended up with a farm that doesn't work anymore. I will be leaving a link in the description on how you can make this farm and the fixed version of it. After I was done with that, I didn't really have a plan, so I started digging some dirt. It might be a good idea to level this place out so I don't have a bunch of unnecessary hills. Then I started placing down a lot of dirt. It was a lot of work. I wasn't even planning on doing any of this. And, wabam! Somehow I actually ended up with a partially automated crop farm. When I was done fooling around, I dug out an area for a pumpkin farm that I had planned. If I want a villager trading farm, I should also get something that I could trade with. But of course nothing is ever easy, is it? To make this farm I need powered rails, and to make powered rails I need gold. But of course a ton of gold isn't something I had just laying about. So I needed to fix this problem. But it might be a good idea to make a cheap gold farm in the Nether. On paper that might be a good idea, but you can't forget that there are actually ghasts in the Nether as well. And they really wanna play. By the way, do you remember what I said about keeping an eye on your surroundings? It sure seems I forgot about it. Oh great, it's night as well. This brings back a lot of memories. Eventually I gave up on the design as it proved to be much more faster to actually mine the gold by hand. One short mining session later I finally got started on the farm. It might not be the biggest farm there is, but it is expensive, especially now in the early game. Having an iron farm really does help. I mean, imagine having to go down into a cave and mine out all this iron yourself without all the late game enchantments. Putting in the final pieces felt great. Now I actually have a stable income that I can use when trading with villagers. When I finally get a trading farm, that is. Now I only really had one big problem ahead of me that was in the way if I wanted to start a bigger project. And that was food. You see, because the chicken cooker didn't really work out the way I had intended, I gave up on that and decided to skip to the next big milestone in a Minecraft world, namely getting up on the Nether roof. If I could get a portal above the roof, I could make a pork chop farm that would supply me with endless amount of food and leather. This would then free me from the bonds of my berries and what little chicken I could get from the cooker. That way I will be free to set my sights on even bigger projects. With my goal finally set, I set out on my next great adventure. That shall take me one step closer to the great glory and riches that all yearn for. The first step in that plan was to gather even more resources. So I headed down in the deep, dark caves and made the next great mining time-lapse of the series. Surely this time I will get a full chest of diamonds. And I must say, great success! More than 5 stacks of redstone, 2 stacks of lapis and 15 diamonds. Was so happy I started fixing my chest storage system. I was so pleased with the great mining spree that after checking my pumpkin farm I went fishing. Yeah, you heard right, I went fishing. I then cooked up my fish and finally started heading my way to the nether. And of course I didn't forget to bring obsidian with me. Imagine if I got stuck on the nether roof. When I finally got to the nether, I wasted no time and immediately started digging myself a way up. Then I got one of those really weird and socially awkward greetings by this dude. Please keep a minimum distance of 2 meters. And so I made a stairway to heaven and glitched myself through hell. My next problem was getting a reliable way up above the nether roof. The problem was linking the portal, but I will admit that problem is entirely on me. I have never really understood portal mechanics as I feel they are not very consistent. But I believe the main reason is probably because I've never actually taken the time to properly learn about the mechanics. And of course this is a tradition I will be continuing today as well. So I just broke my first portal and let the sinking of portals be a problem for the future me. Working on the Hoglin farm, I can honestly say this is a very easy farm to make. Great work, Sugarcraft! I give thee a beginner-friendly mark of approval. I mean, I'm not even covered in diamonds yet and I still easily made this farm. Well, I say easily, but I actually made the farm 1 block too low. This actually breaks the farm as the Hoglins can just jump down from the side. But if you also make the same mistake as me, here's a quick fix for that. Just put down slabs around the farm and the Hoglins can't jump down and will eventually go for the lava. And with the farm finally done, I can just sit back and enjoy the show. After only 11 minutes of watching the farm go, I actually got 101 cooked pork chops. With all my food problems finally solved, I could not help myself but to stare at the horizon, wondering what great adventures that await me. But that, my friends, is a story for another time. If you like videos like this, make sure to hit the like button. And have a good one!